Welcome, everyone, to the brand new year, 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Woo! Woo!
We all made it.
I can see you guys
yes.
all year. We haven't podcasted all year.
No kidding.
It's the first podcast of the year. This is exciting.
It's very exciting. All right, so the point on that is we don't want to make it timely, or date it is what the word is actually. But what we're going to talk about today is also for next year and the year after that and the year after that. But what we actually write down as far as our goals are concerned are timely for this year. And I think it's going to be very interesting as we continue to make more podcasts and check in with each other on what it is that we're trying to accomplish. We're going to be revisiting the things that we're writing down today. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so before I start all that, I want to talk about result versus accomplished goals.
Can I back you up a little bit?
Yes, but go ahead.
I think we should introduce.
You know what? Let's do a reintroduce.
Yeah.
Yes, because this time we actually have a studio audience.
We have a
full
studio audience.
panel. So yes, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that up.
No, it's
Let's go right around the table, and those who want to, the studio audience can certainly say a few things as well. But since I'm pointing in that direction, let's start off with Brady.
Wow. My name is Brady Nix. I'm a musician.
Okay, perfect. What else do you think that we should say today? Is that good enough?
Are you a musician, Brady?
Yeah.
What makes you a musician?
I sing in the band. It's called Vital.
Vital.
Look it up on Instagram.
Mm.
Music's not out yet, but it's being made.
Mm.
There we go. Okay.
I like it.
Vital.
That's all I can tell you.
My name is Jack. I'm in high school. I'm a business owner. I've started 2 businesses from this course.
Fantastic. I love it.
I'm Micah. I'm a senior in high school, and I love to read books, and I'm super excited to be part of the program, and I eventually want to start my own business one day.
I'm Carl Kirsten. I technically have a business as network marketing, so take it how you want. Also very big in my job and my old job that took a lot of the material in Dominator's program and put it to good use on helping the businesses grow by about a 50% profit margin.
Hi. I am Chris. I am Jordan's best friend. You'll meet Jordan today, and Steve's best friend. And I think Keith and I are becoming best friends very, very quickly. Our camera guy. I'm here because Steve pays me to be here. Sorry. No, I'm a teacher. I work at my church. I love being a part of this program, and I'd love to just talk about our goals today. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and today we actually have a studio audience, so might be a little bit hard to hear. So speak loudly. And I'm pointing at you.
We're going to me first?
Sure, why not?
Oh.
Don't speak too loud, Cole.
Oh, my bad.
No, regular. The camera's there.
Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Cole, and I'm a musician and a high schooler.
I love it. And then we have our cameraman, which I can actually introduce. So Keith is our cameraman. You've seen him before. And then our final studio audience.
I'm Jordan. I've gone through the course. I also work at the school Chris works at too.
Mr. H.
Mr. H, they call him.
Mr.
Exactly.
H.
Exactly. And he lives at 127 Main Street for all the... You're single, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Very single.
Very single.
Number in the description.
I tell that to my girlfriend.
All right, so now back to the thing. Is that good enough for the introduction?
I
kind of
think
like
so.
that.
I don't know, I
I'm
just-
glad you brought us back to that
Thank
because
you.
I think that's important as people get to know us because we have new people.
Well,
Ultimately,
we've
there's several new
so,
people.
yeah.
It's growing and
I thought we
expanding.
could maybe just pretend he wasn't here and just keep going and just
Ignore
or
him.
refer to him as Reggie the whole
Who
time.
was that guy?
We're being a little more humorous.
Yeah, bring it up. Yeah, let's bring up the humor. We were challenged this particular earlier today to make the podcast more entertaining, less scripted, more entertaining.
Yeah.
So let's let it loose. Okay,
Let it-
it's just dudes
entertain.
talking about, and women are involved as well. But as far as this panel is concerned, it's just a bunch of dudes being guys, right, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right, man.
sir.
Hey, man, we're just a bunch of dudes being guys, right, bro?
Right.
Hey, man.
Gotta get them all in there.
Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro. All right, so backing it up. All right, so results versus accomplished goals. So I'm going to feel this one out just a little bit by saying the example is a marketing program up and running versus a new Corvette. Okay, a goal would be to get my marketing program up and running, and if that happens, the result would be a new Corvette. Okay, give me some ideas of accomplished goals, just as a generic. Anyone want to go?
Like a steady income, like a steady salary. Be like I wanted this income, and I have this income now. So that's it.
Okay, if you set income as a goal, I would agree with that. But I think also income could also be a result of what?
Yeah.
How would you increase your, like, what would the goal be set before that
Mm-hmm.
to help increase your income? Anyone else want? Or you want to think that one through for a second?
Well,
or
I think
what else you
I
got?
think like working out regularly to reach a goal of a certain weight that you're trying to. You know.
Right.
So
So
it's the habit of this thing that I'm doing regularly for a purpose of, the end goal, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So creating a workout program that's 5 days a week. It's got cardio, some lifting weights, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That would be the goal, right? And then the result would be to look like Jordan,
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
to.
right? Unless you're bulking, then you look like
Cameraman,
Carl.
can you get that again? All right,
Nope, too
Jordan.
close.
Sorry.
Give me two more examples, like something along those lines, because I just like talking about it. I think it's just an interesting talking point. Results versus accomplished goals or goals, whatever. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Paying off debt.
Paying off debt.
Yep.
Okay,
Slowly
would be
but
a
surely.
result or a goal.
That would be a goal. So
Yeah.
the result of paying off debt would be more financial freedom.
Mm. Oh, I like that a lot. I like
Yeah,
that a lot.
that's good.
Anyone else? Brady, Micah, Jack, you want to rethink that?
I think like maybe reading a certain amount of pages a day of a
Mhm.
book would be a goal,
That's a goal for sure.
and then better knowledge is the outcome.
The result, exactly. Okay. Anyone else?
Like it.
So the audience want to contribute to that? No? Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, so a long time ago, I read I've read lots of books on goal setting and listened to a lot of programs. It's countless, really. You could get on Amazon right now and type in books on goal setting, and what would be the result? If someone would like to do that, what's Jamie? Jamie, is that the go-to name?
The Jamie. Yeah, Jamie. Jordan, how about you look up on your telephone
Go on to Amazon,
Amazon.
and type in
goal setting?
books on goal setting and see what kind of how many results, or however you want to do it. Google or Amazon, I don't know, something like that.
Probably Amazon.
Lots
I
of
don't
them, lots of them. We're going to find out in a second. But I some of them can get really kind of complicated, and then you start overthinking, overanalyzing. I'm like, I need something simpler. So I came across this particular one and then modified it toward how I want to actually do it, so then I can help teach it and share it, and it's helped me out tremendously. Basically, what we want to do is, you have your mind, you have all your goals that you're thinking about, okay? But we think about them so vaguely, or one pops in over here and one pops in over there. You don't really actually sit down. Most people don't actually sit down and actually write them out, right? If out of 100 people, what was it? The top 3% actually write down their goals and make a game plan to actually
Yeah.
accomplish it, and they accomplish more than 97% of the other people combined. Right? Those who don't actually write stuff down. So that's why we're here. And those who are watching this podcast, please grab yourself a piece of paper and let's start having some fun. We're going to start writing some things down. What do you want? It's one of the biggest questions you can ask yourself. This program over a period of time is also, I'm trying to develop 20 of the most important questions you could ask yourself. It's about 13 right now. I'm still developing it. But one of them for sure is, what do you want? Okay? So as fast as possible, thinking about some of these topics, and the topics, we may have a click in the link below to get this particular printout, or just follow along. I want you to think about businesses, what you want to accomplish with school, financially, physically, mentally, maybe something with your family, for those who do have family, spiritually, okay, your lifestyle, that could be all kinds of different things, and then relationships, friendships, close partners, all that kind of thing. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes or so, roughly, you're just going to mind dump of anything and everything that you would love to accomplish this next year. Ready? Go. Start right. What was the result? How many books on? How many books were available? Let's start sharing. Let's start sharing some what some of our goals are, because it's inspiring to other people, and it may get other people thinking, that's actually a really good goal. Maybe I should try to go for something like that as well. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is take our mind dump, things that we just put, which is probably way more than 10-ish, would be my guess, and put it into, make it our top 3, and from there we're going to make it a top 1. Okay, but I digress just a little bit. Just giving you a little prequel about what we got going on. So, who would like to go first as far as sharing some of their goals? Just let's be playful and fun with it. Carl, you're up.
So I want to create a net zero business.
Okay.
So whatever it is, I'm currently working on a couple different things. So I want to get something out there that doesn't really cost me much, and then whatever money I make out of it, reinvest into it. So do that. Financial, I want to pay off my debt. Last year had a couple of emergencies happen with my house, so I got to get those squared away. And I want to lose 80 pounds this year. 80 pounds.
That's doable.
So, yep, the average is 2 pounds per week. So if I can just stay consistent for 40 weeks, I'll get there in no time.
I love it. I love it. I was going to share it later, but now's actually a really good point to bring it up. That one specifically. Remember we talked about goals being smart, specific, measurable, all that kind of stuff. Had he said it a different way, and I'll challenge you guys because he actually said it the right way, to lose 80 pounds, what would be a bad goal but with the same idea?
Lose weight.
Yeah,
lose weight.
Be healthier.
Exactly. Right. So if he just said lose weight, that's not a good goal. But to be very specific, 80, measurable by the end of the year, okay, all that makes sense to me. Okay. Anyone else smart? Let's actually say what they are. So specific, measurable, attainable,
realistic,
Timely.
and timely. Okay. So as we're kind of going through these, if you have to reread it or rewrite it, make sure it has those things and take those things into consideration, especially for people who don't know. Cole, do you understand what that means? Like very specific? Okay. You can't say to become better at the drums. It would be, to learn the most difficult Rush song and play it fluently, something like that. Like that would be a little bit more specific. Okay? Exactly.
You just aged yourself a little bit.
Or Bette Midler. I don't know if the drummer of Bette Midler. I don't know if does he still play?
Bette Midler. Does he still play?
Okay, going back to it. Those are great goals, by the way. I love them, and we could easily support those, right? Mentally and that kind of thing. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Jackson.
So my business and financial kind of tie in together, but it's kind of my number one goal. I need to get a part-time job so that I can build up the funds so I can get my marketing business back on track, because it kind of died down. We weren't getting the clients, so then my funds ran out and now I can't support it. So now I need to get a job so then I can build it back up and then get it rolling again.
Okay. What else? I see a bunch of things written down there. Give me a couple more.
Yeah. So a little while ago, I kind of found God. I started having more faith.
Hallelujah, by the way.
Agreed.
Thank you. But I haven't really been as proactive in learning and just be more proactive on it. So I want to learn more about the Bible, learn more about God and Jesus, and kind of
That's excellent.
build.
That's awesome.
There's a bunch of people in this room that can help you on that.
January
little
8th,
trip. Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Wednesday night,
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yep. Thank you. That's great.
Uh-huh.
What happens then? Youth group.
My other job, my night job.
Yeah.
We have youth group at our church, so these guys come every once in a while. Here when you can. Jordan's there and Steve's there. I mean, pretty much everybody but you two are,
Right.
a part of it in some way. So it's great. It's fun.
Okay.
I love it.
We learn and talk and eat food. And give
That-
out things.
that's
Give out prizes.
So awesome. Just awesome.
It's fun.
Jack, give me one more. I see you got a few more written down.
And I want to spend more time with the mother, because she's still a couple towns away, and I don't.
Your
really-
mother?
My mother.
Okay, not some, just a mother.
The mother.
His sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I don't really go out to visit as much as I should.
Uh-huh.
I want to spend more time with her.
Yeah. Well, make that dough and meet halfway and treat her to dinner once in a while.
Mhm.
You know she would love that. I love my sister. She's the life of the party. She's fantastic. Super, super funny. She would love it. I don't know. I don't know if she would love this program, but I know she would love hanging out with us. So, who wants to go next? Let's back up one up. The one of them that you said, to be more financially,
Yeah.
or to get a job.
Yep.
So is that like a SMART goal? I mean, how would you? Is there a better way to write
Well,
that?
Start applying, I guess.
Start applying. Sure.
Yeah.
Applying for jobs and get a job that does something, right? It has to
Right.
produce some sort of number.
Right.
Get
yeah.
a job that produces enough money for you to support your
Right.
hobbies and ambitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'd
Okay.
have
Number
to
is-
figure out whatever that number is.
Correct. That would make it
Yeah.
more specific.
Okay.
Yep.
And give yourself when do you need that job by?
Yeah.
Try to get
ASAP.
some kind of yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Okay. That's
you
great.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Micah, you're up.
Yeah, sure. for school, education-wise, I want to obviously graduate high school and figure out what my major is going to be. So, that has its set determined limit, obviously, because we go back to school. I graduate in May, and then CLC bound. So that's where I'm at for school. Lifestyle, I want to be able to read 10 books by the end of this year. 10 good books that I know will not just benefit me, mentally, but give me ideas for the future and hopefully invest into that so I can kind of figure out where I'm going. And business-wise, I want to figure out a business strategy, and find out one that I like and that I want to pursue that is built on my interests and what I want to do. So that's my business side of it. It's business aspect, my goals.
10 books in 12 months, that's very specific.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, who would like to go next? Brady, you're up. What do you got?
Yeah. For the business part, get my band going a little bit better, and find a job so I can pay for the stuff for the band, and apply just different jobs. Physical, just get a little bit more built and eat more, because I'm a little bit underweight. And my mental, definitely get a better mindset and stop being worried and depressed about others and the world. Because I don't mean to kill the mood, but 2024 was probably the most depressing year of my life. Like I said, I don't mean to kill the mood, but it was.
Hey, we've all been there, man.
Amen to that.
And I've probably had the worst thoughts in that year about me and others and what's coming for me in the future. And I was just really sad, and I was just in a really bad place. And I hope to get out of it. I'm getting better, and I think there's light at the end of the tunnel for me.
That's good. There it is.
A reason to live,
Sure.
something to fight for, gives you all kinds of courage and encouragement to move forward. It really does.
Yep.
You can spiral out of control if you got no hope.
Yeah.
But if we start thinking about things that we actually want to try to do, it can inspire hope. I am not a doctor. That is not the answer for everything, obviously. But I also know it's very, very true, what I just said, for a lot of people. So hang in there. You got a good support group,
Yep.
A battalion's all about fighting for your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I love it.
About your goals, your physical one, is that smart, do you think? That goal? Do you think it's smart?
Yeah, what'd you write down? Eat
I think
more and build
I think
muscle?
it's healthier for me.
Well, do you think it's smart, like the acronym?
Smart?
Yeah.
Is it specific? You said eat more?
Yeah.
What was it? How did you write it exactly? Let's just go.
Get built?
Yeah, Bill.
I said
built.
get a little more built.
Get a
Well,
little more
how would
built.
that,
Added to it.
how would that be
Like-
more smart? How could you make that more smart?
What weight do you want to get to?
160?
What are you
Okay.
right now?
So specific.
About 130.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay.
30
So, yeah.
I
pounds.
did it in 60
Definitely an uptake.
Can you share? Can you guys just share? You can take 30 pounds for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll cut it off right now, man. We're
Right.
good.
Yeah.
I have a new one of my other best friends. I have several best friends.
What?
Each one more special than the other. I have a lot of
Each
best friends.
one more
One's more
special than
special
the
than the
other.
other. Exactly.
So I'm at the
So that's
top
what-
of each one more special.
But I have a nutritionist as one of my best friends, and we're going to bring him on the podcast, and that might be a great question. Yeah. Okay. On how to do that.
How to
Give
get
somebody-
built, for sure.
I mean, it's easy to. I guess that you could look it up and see, on how to actually do it. But
I have
but
a
I know
lot of
Jack.
experience
Yeah,
with
Jack has
that.
had plenty of experience. We got another gentleman here that is trying to be a
Hey,
Physical
I got
therapist.
a crunch membership, so we should all just hit the gym.
right.
You know?
Right.
And what am I, chopped liver?
Yes.
Who are you talking to?
What are you talking
Can you
about?
bow that out a little bit?
Some Photoshop.
Right.
Yeah.
I also said on my thing, we'll have to bleep it out, but thank you. Ever
Shining
heard
off.
of a Rolex?
I got a watch for Christmas. I meant to put it on, but I forgot.
Nice.
This is not one of those. I'm just saying, have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
This is better than that, and for one major reason. Do you know what that is?
It's yours.
Didn't cost you a lot.
Gucci.
It's way cheaper. Okay. All right. What was I say? Oh, it's one of my goals
It's right
was
twice a day.
Yeah.
I think
No,
we should go
I
to-
can't say this goal because it would be insulting. But basically, I feel like I got out of shape. I didn't work out for 7 weeks, and it like took a toll on me. So these past 2 days, not including today, I started doing my P90X again, and
Very nice.
right. But boy, does it feel good to be back. That thing is a kick right in the part you don't want to be kicked. Okay. But it's great, and that's been around forever. Okay, where were we? I feel like I've derailed slightly. What else were some of
wants
these?
to
Did you go
derail.
through?
Yeah. So I think we were just kind of
Me?
trying to help Brady
Oh, yeah,
get
to-
them
to
to be a
eat
little
more.
more smart.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, so I think the idea is that we're trying to not just say, oh, get healthier, but something that we can track.
Like how many
something
calories
we
is that a
can-
day?
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
it's calories. Maybe it's weight. Right. If this is my kind of like we talked at the beginning, if it's gaining 30 pounds, right? It's okay. I'm doing these things then to get this result. So what are those things that you would do? Is it eating more? How much more? Going to the gym? How often? That kind of thing. And even if it's just entry steps to that, I'm going to talk to my friend, talk to Jack. What do you think I should start doing? That could be a step to a result that you're getting to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once you
Right.
have something quantifiable, then you can do the math on everything else.
Mhm.
There's enough apps out there that you can download that'll kind of lead you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For some of us who don't know what quantifiable is, what does that mean?
Put a number with it.
Okay.
You need to have a general number of what you're looking for. That way, there's a progress to it. You could be 10% of the way to your goal, or if you're not eating enough or only eat junk food, or if your metabolism's too high, stuff like that. By having a quantifiable number you're looking at, you can then look at how many calories a person at that weight eats, so you know what you have to get to.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Cole, we're going to come to you next. Are we getting some? Is this starting to make sense?
Yep.
Did we
Yeah.
hit everyone on the panel so far?
I haven't gotten.
Okay,
but that's
we'll hit Cole
Yeah,
next.
get Cole and Jordan too.
Yeah, I want to get Jordan involved as
Yeah.
well.
Not Keith though.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on a side note, we are actually doing the fast version of this kind of goal setting, but it really kind of gets to it. It's just like, what's the shortest, fastest version of this, and I've kind of nailed it down. Keith is part of the program as well. He's still running through it, and next week we're actually going to do a longer version with him. But having said all that, Cole, give us some of your goals.
For one of my relationship goals, I've noticed it with my family. My family's really close, but I say how much I care for them a lot, but I don't always show it. So I want to try and not only say how much I care for them, but kind of let them see it in how I treat them. So kind of live the way that I'm saying that I want to live.
Yeah.
And also, I want to do better in school. So the main thing that's been killing my grades in school is not turning in work. I had a class that I went from an A in to a D in, and my teacher took my computer, and he was going through the assignments. He says, "You did every single one of these. You just did not turn them in." So I spent a solid 15 minutes turning in a total of 42 assignments, and I finished that class with an A minus.
Go on.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at your goals. That's a great goal to have. It really is.
So
It's a very easy fix.
it is a very easy fix. It's just
Yeah. Get on.
I need to
you know?
get into
Yeah.
the habit of turning my stuff in after I finish it, because I usually just finish it and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm done with it, and then
Mhm.
I close my Chromebook and I do not come back to it.
Get credit for the work you did, man.
That's what my parents always say.
Sorry, I don't want to be like your parents. I don't mean
It's the teacher in him coming out.
I know. Just turn it in.
What else you got?
And then I want to start changing my diet. So go from, because I am relatively underweight, so I want to go to a higher protein, lower carb diet. So that can also help me build muscle. And I also want to, once I get cleared, start going back to the gym, because I wasn't able to lift for a while because of baseball injuries that I had with my elbow and my knee. So I should be able to start being able to do that again. relatively soon. So higher protein, lower carb, more lifting. I should be able to get my body weight back up and replace it with muscle.
100%. You know, when he first said, I want to change my diet or do better in school, then those were very umbrella. I would say everyone agreed, not very smart at all. And then he talked more, and then started developing a little bit more. And that's obviously a completely acceptable version of it then. Like,
Yeah.
turn in my assignments. That's very specific. And then high protein, low carb. Yeah, and start working out. I would encourage you to, you know, what is the workout that you want to start doing? Start focusing on that. Start write it out. And then put little check marks, but we're going to get into that a little bit further. Chris or Jordan, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Leave
Chris,
the
you're up.
best for last. All right, so I actually came a little bit more prepared. It's something I've been thinking about since you said we were going to be doing goals for the next podcast. And then my wife and I actually sat down and kind of planned out our year as well, kind of stuff. So I started, a goal last year was to learn piano, to get back into playing piano. And so one of my goals is to have just a weekly lesson and then play 2 times a month at church. So that's something I've been doing at our Saturday night services. So that's just something that keeps me like going,
Yeah,
doing
keeps
it,
you engaged.
actually doing it, you know. So this is a funny goal. I want to do the splits now. And I think like part of this is just to prove this to myself a little bit. I was watching the Olympics last year, and I was just so like, wow, this is like so cool. The flips and the things that they're doing and this all this stuff. And then I kind of was just like, but someone had to just learn it. You know, they didn't just come out of the womb doing flips. You know what I mean? You had to learn it. And obviously, like at the Olympic level, it's like they're the highest level of that, right? But anyone can learn to do a backflip. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something you have to like learn how to do. I'm like, I can stretch to do the splits. So I just have to do it regularly, just stretch it, you know? So that's one of my goals, is to be able to stretch once a day for 10 minutes in the hopes of doing the splits by the end of the year.
It's the same way you like build muscle. It's just
it's just constant, you know, stretching and using, and so
Consistency.
and just almost just to prove it, to say like you can do things, you know. I'm sure Jordan has goals like that, which is like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna quit saying, oh, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice if I could do the backflip or do the splits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it. So that's one of my goals. Another goal is to work out 3 times a week. Just maintaining physical health. And I have a goal that I've had for the past few months, is to just read a book a month. That is still a goal of mine, or 12 books a year. But it's easier to kind of think of one a month and just stay on pace. Otherwise, it'll be too much. And so I also have on here, this would be under, I guess, relationship and financial, but having a monthly money meeting with my wife. Just kind of talking about budget and what we spent and what we are looking to spend and things like that. And then a relationship goal would be a weekly date night. So those are some of my goals. Oh, I want to. I'm laughing at Keith. I want to have better handwriting. So I bought a handwriting book for adults. So
Nice.
just do the letters, you know. So that's one of my goals, is to use that book and get better handwriting. I'm only laughing because you zoomed in on my stuff earlier, and I'm all embarrassed. But it's a goal. So hopefully, in 6 months, I'll be proud to show you my work.
There you go.
Great goals.
Yeah.
I kind of was going through them. They all seem to be smart.
Thank you.
They're certainly timely and had some sort of goal at the end. One of my goals is also to read 12 books, and I have right in my room, my little what do you call it? Corkboard.
Sure.
And on there, you got the numbers 1 through 12. And as I read them, I'm just going to write them in.
That's
right?
great.
And I know, Micah, you had wrote down you wanted to also read books.
Yeah.
And if you're lost, like, where do you even start? I've got hundreds of them. And I could easily do I could say my top 10. They might not even close to your top 10, but it's a place to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
For that, and I really enjoyed this one. I hope you do as well, or just start doing your own research on it. Find out what good Goodreads or whatever it is, Goodreads.com. They rate books, on particular subjects and stuff. So it might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what do you do? Just wander around the library? That could be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, subject's the most important part. Once you know that, there's thousands of authors you can turn to.
Right. Agreed. Jordan, you are up. What do we got for some of your wonderful goals?
I went to the gym at 5. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I just
No, like sometimes you wake up and go work, but daily.
Yeah.
Do you know, like early the sun rises in the summer?
Yeah.
I mean, you daily.
I work most day in the summer.
You know what? Hit his goal. How would you encourage that?
Yeah.
Change it. No, I'm sorry.
This is a joke.
Attainable, relevant. I don't know. Like what is this?
Yeah, that's funny
Realistic?
because
No,
it's
yeah,
so
I'm just-
opposite of what you would.
Oh,
not
yeah,
I shouldn't
yeah.
say opposite, but and we'll come back to it in a
Yeah.
second. That doesn't speak to you. You're like that. I have
Yeah.
zero interest in something like that. Yet
Yeah.
for him, it's one of his goals. So it's like, okay,
Yeah,
I
do
think
it.
I think it's fantastic. So what would you say now?
Are you gonna go to bed before it sets?
All right, this is fantastic, fellas. By
Yeah.
the way, I think this is awesome. So now what we're going to do is take your top, all the ones that you just kind of wrote down, and on the bottom of that sheet there it says, okay, what are your top 3? Okay, I want to do relatively, as we're trying to figure out like what the top 3 are, because then we're going to try to figure out what your number 1 is, and break that down a little bit. So all the ones you wrote down, what are your top 3? Write that down in like a way of you would have it accomplished. Like I will lose 30 pounds. I will gain 30 pounds. I will, whatever it might be. Put it in a sentence of of it being accomplished. Okay, does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of added on, and now it's like, I don't know which ones are the top 3. They're all good.
They are. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So let's back it up. Like, what if you could only accomplish 3 of those? Which would be your top 3?
I want to do all of them.
What do you want to do first? Okay, these are great, actually. I appreciate that, Jack, because some of them you can do. You can read and also work out.
Yeah.
Not at the same time, but I mean, it's not like I'm only going to read and never work out. I mean, you can work out for an hour and then go read for an hour. I mean,
Yeah.
things are accomplishable like that.
I
Technically-
think you can work out and read at the
You
same
could.
You can actually.
I listen to audiobooks. That's
That's
how
what I do.
When
I
I,
do
say
Audible.
read, I mean I listen to audiobooks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's why that's one of my top 3 goals. That's a little absurd.
Yeah.
Okay, so write it down. So we'll go back and then we'll do that, and then on the next page, it says now write your number 1. So out of those 3, which one would you want to do? If it could be accomplished right away, like you wave a magic wand, you could accomplish it immediately. Which one would have like the greatest impact on the other things as well? And we'll think about that as maybe being our number 1 goal. Like if I did that one, boy, all these other ones would line up. Or what's the number 1 you want to go for? Like later today, is it something you could tackle right now? Is it something you could do tomorrow morning? That kind of thing. Okay, so top 3 and then top 1. You can see where you write all those things down on the papers here. All right, now that we've written down our top 3 and then broken it down also into our top 1, what we want to do from here is, and this is one of the most important parts, okay? Whatever it is that you wrote down, and we'll go down the list of whoever wants to share first. Why do you want this? Give me a sentence, okay? Because you have to have a burning reason, okay? And then secondly, we want to write down 20 ways to get it. And that could be all kinds of different things. Sometimes it's difficult to come up with 20. Sometimes it requires more than 20 things to actually do it. My point is, you want to start writing something down. Who has started this particular part of the process? Okay, Carl, you got something you want to start writing?
A little bit.
And this is also where you start pulling in your band of brothers or band of sisters, band of brothers and sisters to kind of help out. Several of us on here want to bulk up. Great. We have ways of contributing to that. I already said one of my best friends can sit down with us. He's a nutritionist. This is how you can do it. That's a big great spot. Jordan is also really good for that, on how to bulk up. He's taking classes to become better at that. And he's going to become certified in this kind of stuff. That's fantastic. What about? Carl, you're a pretty beefy dude. What do you do? That kind of thing.
On both sides of it.
Yeah. So we have ways of being able to do this. So who would like to start sharing what their number 1 that they want to go for and why you want it?
Are we
So-
sharing?
Yes, we're sharing. It's time to share.
I got you. So for my top 3, it's lose 80 pounds by December 31st, which is my top 1. Pay off my debt. It's about $50,000 from last year. Yeah, it hurts, but repairs had to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
And then read 52 books, and by that I mean Audible. So I'm planning on listening to an entire book on Audible every single week of the year.
Yeah.
So a little absurd, but definitely accomplishable.
It 100% is, especially
Yep.
if you have a job that doesn't require, like cutting lawn
Yep.
is a great example.
I travel for
You
work
just
now,
kinda
so
just start doing it, and you can. For me, that's when I can do it that way, or when I'm shoveling snow.
exactly. I'm an auditorial learner, so anything in the background that I'm listening to, I pick up on. So
Uh-huh.
works out well. And with traveling for work now, anytime in a car heading to a customer, it's super easy to pop on an audio and just cruise.
That's cruise, right?
Yep. So my top one, obviously, then is lose 80 pounds by December 31st.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can accomplish it sooner, probably like August or September. But I'm going to keep it a little more lenient.
Okay.
So why I want to do this is I want to be healthier. I want to be good looking, energized, and I want to work on flexibility and just mobility in general. I'm a very stiff person. I've always been more of a power lifter type. So
Okay.
I want to get down there and limber.
Mhm.
So some of the ways I can accomplish this is eating the correct amount of calories. So right now I'm taking in about 2,220 calories a day. It has to be nutrient dense food, so high protein, about 250 grams, carbs a little bit lower, and obviously healthy fats. I don't want to be consuming potato chips and stuff like that.
Delicious.
Yep, so good. My buddy just gave up candy today at work, and I was like, I really want to take it, but I can't.
Right. Right.
Proper lifting at least 3 times a week. We just took on an anime challenge so we're doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers
Ooh, Saitama.
every day. Yep, Jinwoo, solo leveling. But so all different things that'll play into it, but yeah,
Sure.
and then reviewing every single week and seeing where I'm faltering and then where I'm picking back up.
Keeping track.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. That will be one of the next steps that we actually talk about. These are fantastic, and we can keep going on down that list. I think that's one of the easier ones to kind of come up with 20 because it's a big lifestyle change. How bad do you
Exactly.
want it? You know, how bad do you want to look good,
Yeah.
and how bad do you want to be healthy? You know, you all of a sudden had a heart attack or something like that, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, you got to make a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
You survived it.
Do you
know,
want it or
some
do you need it? There's
Yeah.
a big difference in how you set that goal.
Mhm. Right. So your why has to be big enough. As you guys are writing some other things down, do you need any like help or encouragement from us, like on what else? It sounds to me like on that one, you're pretty solid.
Yep. I mean, we got some guys who are into nutrition here, so that's pretty nice. I can turn and
Right.
people can keep me accountable.
Mhm.
So
I've often thought about like through the Ignite program, creating some sort of like workout regiment of some sort. You know, hey, this is when I'm working out. Work out 5 days a week here. Who wants to join me? But it's when I'm working out. I
Yeah.
can either record it and then you can watch it and try to do the same kind of thing, or join me from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock every single day, and this is where I'll be. You know,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of do that way. Or this is the location I'll actually be. Join me there. You know, I got enough weights. You know, I work out in my garage. I can move the vet out and have more room or something like that. So, because then you know, working out with a friend is sometimes better.
yeah.
Sometimes, you know, I get harder workouts when I'm by myself and I'm pissed. And
I know
heartbreak
those.
will do it
Yeah,
to you.
that-
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get that exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If I don't have somebody to reflect off of, if they're kind of limited on what they can do, then I lower what I do. If I'm by myself, I'm like, not good enough. Got to add more plates.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, I was like, if I have like a bad day and I'm just like angry, I'll just like go to the gym and just like slam some weight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, yes. Then the heartbreak workout is very, very good. Who else would like to add? Who else has got something written down? Like their number one?
Yeah.
Micah, you ready?
I have my number one. My number one is just to figure out the business plan, what I want to do with entrepreneurship, and just learn more about it. And why I want to do this, like Jordan said, you know, like just working under someone, I just don't like that. I like being independent, and I like being able to pick my own schedule, my own hours, and you know, make money doing something I like to do, something I really love to do, and that I would be comfortable with doing the rest of my life. So, and you know, there's more than 20. There's probably 100 different things that I could be doing to, you know, make that a reality. Stuff that I could be starting now and stuff that I, you know, might be down the line. But there's a lot of things I could write down for that. So
Right. Well, let's get what are some? You know, I mean, I want you to kind of mind dump it yourself, but immediately I'm thinking you're starting to show a little bit of interest in like video editing that is very independent. Yeah, you can work for somebody, but it's also a very independent thing.
Yeah.
Like for myself, it's very independent. and my point is you're starting to show interest in it. Like, how could you dive into that? How could you exhaust that as maybe it is something you want to do, or you know what? No, now that I've done it for a little while, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you like dip your foot into that particular pool. Are you enjoying yourself or not? You know, then you kind of move on. You know, move on to the next thing. So, right, you're trying to find something that you want to do business wise that you have interest in.
Mhm.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that is literally right now could be anything. Yeah. So what are some things that you think you could do to kind of move that forward?
Yeah, I think one of my top 3 goals was to read the 10 books, and I could take some of those books could be entrepreneurship, learning entrepreneurship. So I think my top 3 goals relate to some of the answers of what I could be doing to start that. So books on entrepreneurship would be I think a good start, because I would I don't know a ton. I know what I've picked up from social media or the internet or whatever. So diving into a book that, that's the only topic that it focuses on, that helps me. I think it'll help me learn a lot more about it and really learn if that's something I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. Entrepreneur Roller Coaster is a fantastic book.
Same with $100 Startup.
$100 Startup, another good one. Never read that one. That sounds like a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
There was one about lemonade stands and how they're an actual business. It was the guy that won
Wasn't it called
what's that
something
show?
with lemonade
Yeah,
stands?
the guy that show that Trump did with the businesses and you had to compete against each other. What's the name of that show? Doesn't matter. Leave it in the comments. But the guy that won it the very first season, he wrote a book about the lemonade stand. I ended up buying it. Actually, I read most of it, if not all of it, and I thought it was pretty good. It's like is a lemonade stand, and I actually like asking this question anyway. Is a lemonade stand a legitimate business? And it 100% is.
Depends.
Mm-hmm. Depends on what.
Do you have a license to be doing it? Because I feel like if it's a 6-year-old dollar for lemonade, it's not a legitimate business, because you're taking like a store-bought powder and you're mixing it into your mom's water from the faucet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it needs to be something that you actually put effort in. You need to actually invest in it. I think that it can't just come easy. I think that it can't be an actual business unless you don't face some sort of challenges while going through it, because there's no business that's perfect. And if it's, say you're trying to pick up a business and you just grab one of your dad's old warehouses and grab some supplies from the hardware store and just throw it together, it's not going to be successful unless you put effort into it, advertise it, like actually put work into making it a successful business.
Agreed. And so along those lines, to my point, yes, you're right. Is it a legitimate business though? Yes, because you have to have a location, you have to have a product, you have to invest in that product, you have to advertise it, which means I'm selling lemonade.
Yep.
Right? It has to be good. You can't just borrow everything, because now it's all of a sudden becoming a not legitimate business. Right? Someone else is funding that. No one funds my business. I have to fund it. But if a young kid says I shoveled lawn or shoveled a driveway. Shoveling lawns, is that a thing? It is now.
Yep.
We shovel
Make it a
lawns for
business.
$29.95.
It's a business idea for you, Steve.
Exactly. We shovel a driveway in the winter. I made $20, so I can go buy lemonade, and I'll take water out of the local thing or whatever. Or I don't know, go buy bottles of water. You get to the point, right? But that's actually legit. And then you try to you have $1 invested. You sell it for $5, and now you have a profit. Now what are you going to do with that? Right? You continue to reinvest. And if you have a really good product and there's a line, well, now I have to have someone mix the stuff, because I'm going to be entertaining the people coming in off the street. I need some guy in the back mixing the stuff for me, because I can't be doing it anymore. Now where do you get all your ice? Well, that's just another investment. So that's my point. It is a legit.
That's a cooler.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, do I have a license? Can I legally do this? Well, yeah, sometimes you just need a permit.
Yep.
And some townships, they don't care. But if you start to turn it into something where you actually have a stand that's sitting on someone's lawn, maybe it becomes an eyesore. Now you do have to have some sort of license. Well, there's juice places all over the place. What's the difference between that and a lemonade stand? Nothing. Just more expensive, and they got more things.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
wish-
matter who pays to start the business. It matters who pays to maintain the business.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start making money, it's then you're reinvesting that money and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just a hobby somebody else is paying for.
Right.
I wish I did more lemonades. I had a Kool-Aid stand. You remember? where I live, there's a corner store near our house. It's mostly A&N Liquor, so it sells mostly, liquor products. And so, I take my table up to the side, and I'd ask the guy inside if I could have a Kool-Aid stand, and I'd set up next to the thing, and I made there was a day I made over $100. It was 110 or something like that. And I wish I did more, because it's heavy traffic, and it's right there. It's a hot day in the summer, and they pay for it. So I wish I did more of that, because at 12 years old, that's a lot of money. 12, 13, that's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Or in the winter, I did hot chocolate too. So I was capitalizing on the
That's
It's a
season.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That
everybody
just
coming,
unlocks.
they'd buy their drink or whatever, and then they'd see the hot chocolate stand, and they'd hit me. I got a $20 tip one time.
Sweet.
$20 tip.
That's sweet. Okay, so along those lines, it's just entrepreneurship, man.
I think it is
Yeah.
a
That
That kind
business.
of unlocked a memory, like a childhood memory, where they were redoing the whole road in front of my house back. I don't even know how old I was, probably under 10 years old. But it was like a bunch of guys. It was really hot outside doing construction. So I was like, I'm going to set up a lemonade stand for these construction guys. Put it out there, throwing 20s in my tip jar. I'm like, what? So,
Yeah.
That's called
It's
supply and demand.
supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and all of a sudden you're very, very
That is the
thirsty.
foundation
They
of
need
our
it, you
economy.
provide it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, and they're not going to go to a store and $20, and they're like,
It's right there.
I think other hard workers also appreciate young entrepreneurships, and I've done it, it's no big deal. I'm not like the hero or something like that, and you walk, I'm like, no, they're charging $1 for whatever, and I got a $5 or $10. I'm like, here, just continue to invest. I'll say something. Okay, so along those lines, that's it. What would it take to, if I would run a lemonade stand? There's certain things you have to do. Where? What color? Is it going to be yellow or pink? Or both? I don't know. How strong you want to make it? You want to water it down a little bit and increase your profits, and then no one comes back? There's a lot of things to take into consideration. I like my lemonade to be very little lemonade-y. And
Just
some people,
sugar.
you're like, whoa, holy moly. We went to Uncle Julio's
Yeah.
and we had the lemonade with the mango in it or
I
something like
remember
that.
that
And
face
it
you
felt
made.
like a concentrate.
You took a sip, you're like,
Oh, I'm like, I can't drink it. So I cut it twice, right? I poured half of it into a different glass, cut that, drank it,
Cavity in a
add more.
glass.
Oh, it was terrible. But it was it was strong. Terrible for me. I couldn't handle it. Get an upset stomach from it, because it was that strong. But you're right. So these are market analysis or whatever you want to call it. Legit. That's why it's a legitimate business. Not everyone wants it for 4 scoops.
Yep.
Some people just like the tiny bit of the flavor. That's all. This stuff is so fascinating to me. Because
Go
now
on
what's
and
the
on.
next business? How about a simple burger joint? Right? We only do burgers. That's it. Want 1, 2, or 3 patties. Right? We have one flavor of cheese. Or get gourmet. And you have all kinds of different options. So who else would like to share one of their top things? Brady's got a bunch of stuff written down, but Jack, why don't you go?
my number one is I put a date on it, get a job by January 17th. So that's 2 weeks from today.
Mm-hmm.
I need to, because I need to get funds to get my business going again.
What's your business?
Digital marketing. So I need the software that I use, I need to pay like a couple $100 a month for.
Uh-huh.
And
Is there a lifetime subscription? 'Cause
No.
Oh.
once you get a certain amount of people on it too, then I got to pay like more. But
Takes
anyway,
money to make money.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
Well, if you want to sell cars for a living, you probably should have a few of them on the lot.
yeah.
Right, so you got to invest in that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you. I think that's great. Good. I'm glad you got a date on it and that kind of thing. So what are you gonna What are some options for you to be able to do that? Number one, put a Facebook post of some sort of social media. Hey, I'm looking for a job. I'm
Right.
good at these 5 things.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or start looking in the paper. They still have newspapers. Looking online.
I've been kind of
Yeah.
applying to places online.
Okay.
But usually when you just apply online, they don't really hit you back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't.
yeah, I've
Right.
been having more luck like going in and then giving them my resume and being like, hey.
Mhm.
And then like I had an interview at O'Toole's. Like I went in there, I thought I was just gonna hand in my resume and they would be like, okay, now we'll call you if we want to interview you. But he's like, all right, well, let me just interview you right now.
Mm.
But
wow.
he hasn't really gotten back to me, so
Okay.
I don't know how that's looking.
Mhm.
But
Give them a call.
Follow
Yeah.
it up.
Follow up.
yeah,
Follow up,
yeah.
go back in
That's
there.
what I was
Or
planning on doing.
something. I took a personal finance class this semester at
I did that too.
the high school.
Yeah.
Something that the teachers taught me was send a follow-up email. Hey, thanks
Yeah.
for emailing me. Remind them
Right.
of what you're capable of, what you're good at.
Right.
Because that shows that you take initiative, that
Mhm.
you want to be there, and
Yeah.
that you care about the job that you're trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. So fantastic. Start writing some of those things down. Like what
Yeah.
what are the actual actionable items? Cole, I'm going to ask you. Go ahead and pick up your chair and park it right next to Jordan.
Jay Buckle?
Yeah, that way if you want to chime in, we don't have to move the cameras far. Who else would like to share? Brady, you got some stuff. Micah, did you share yours already
Yeah.
or no? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brady.
Let's go.
hear it.
Have a healthier and stronger mindset by the end of this year.
Okay.
And what can help me is writing music, because it's also therapy, and like it helps me like write down something, like the things I'm going through, and I think other people can relate with it.
I couldn't agree more. Yes, that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And praying a lot, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Getting my faith up. And stop the mood swings. Like kind of like get in it. Kind of goes with getting in a better mindset, but like just stop being like depressed when like a little thing like happens. That's like not the greatest, and just be more happy.
Another great tool is using a gratitude journal. Just every day, at the end of every day or at the end of every week, write down what you're most grateful for that week. Doesn't necessarily be grateful, but just something that was really cool that you did. Maybe it's a new song. Maybe it's you went out with friends, bowling or something like that. But just make sure that you always keep something positive in your mind. Like, yeah, today might have sucked, but last week I did this, and I can do it again next week. So just always keeping in mind that's something that's super positive for you.
So I also have a diary. I'm journal. So I journal a lot and every day. And I always close it with 3 things I'm grateful for. There's a lot of repeaters because I'm grateful for a lot of like some of the basic things, you know. Even I mean, who here has had a cold recently? Right? Kind of sucks, right? Do you have that cold right now?
Nope.
Right. It feels better, doesn't it? Because when you have it, you're like, this kind of sucks, you know. So I write down, thank you God, I am healthy today. You know, I've got an eye issue, but that's different. I'm grateful that I'm not sick today, because it sucks when you're sick.
Yeah.
You know, so be grateful for that. You know, when we start feeling better, we don't even think about it. But as soon as the cold starts coming on, you're like, ugh, right?
Yeah.
Jordan, bring us home. What do you got?
All right, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, the NASM personal training. The full goal is get my NASM personal training certificate by this summer, and I want to do it mainly just because it's mainly something I love doing. I love the fitness industry. I love everything that's part of it. I remember being that, you know, like in sort of the same spot you're in right now, Brady. Like I remember being that kid and then wanting to, you know, do something with that. And like I'm 2.5 years in, I'm more ecstatic than ever. It's helped me get over a lot of different things. It helps me with like a lot of my issues that I've had in the past and some that I do have. So I'm like, I can help others by doing that and like showing them how to do certain things. I want to be able to be that person that can do that for others. So that I feel like that's my driving force of why I want to do it. And plus having this will help, you know, a lot of my other goals kind of fall into place, sort of. So it's like, for instance, like the my startup for the company that I want to do, like having that will help me get that. And because a lot of places need that certificate in order to, you know, carry on. And like a lot of my other like financial stuff can be sorted out through that as well. So, but yeah.
Oh, that's great. Can you briefly talk for just like maybe 10 seconds or so? Well, however long. Keep it short is my point.
Yeah.
When you had issues in the past, was it like self-esteem issues because you were skinny? Something along those lines?
I wasn't really like I still struggle with it kind of. I have like anger issues. And so like, you know, instead of taking that, like I got scars on my hands from it, but it's mainly just because I would have these issues and I would like get angry at stuff, and I would normally take it out on people. Not like physically, but I would be like yelling, screaming, getting angry, like blaming people for no reason. And then I would go and, you know, when I go into the gym, you know, like I feel like one of you would, I can't remember who, but it's like going and just slamming the weight.
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jack
It's
said
like,
that, yeah.
and it's like, when when you're fueled with that, 405 going up on a deadlift doesn't feel that like heavy. So it's just, being able to use it as more of an outlet rather than, it's healthy. It's an outlet, as I said, and it's just it's a fun thing to do at the same time. So.
Okay, I can agree. Okay, cool. All right, lastly, let's bring this fully back home here. So we have our tactical discipline regiment. What is it that you can start doing? What is it that you need to do? You can see how it's got like days of the week here. I got you one printout. I know I can print out as many as you want. You can make copies of this. It does not matter to me. This is how you're going to start keeping track. What are some of the things that you should start doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And you said like a book a week. So, as you're driving, so it would be, Carl's is easy for me. Audiobook.
Yep.
And then you start keeping track of this as opposed to, have you been doing it? Oh, I don't know. I keep track all the time in my calendar every day that I work out. I write the word workout and I put a box next to it. Okay? I'll scratch it off if I didn't that day. So then that was one of the things I added up. I wanted to work out 150 times last year. I did 114. How do I know that? Because I kept track. As opposed to, well, I know I worked out, but I don't know how much. And I keep track of, I always want to be like doing some sort of gains. Every handful of weeks, we throw another 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever it might be. But right now, I work out with a robot. It's all electronic, so you just enter a higher number. Okay, that's the new number now. Maybe I'll do less of them, but it's a heavier weight.
Yep.
But I know I'm growing. And we were one of the exercises, I don't remember, back crushes or something like that. The overhead kind of thing. Start off with 40 when you're wrestling with a robot. That's a heavy weight. Now we're up to 80. I mean, it's like doubling some of these things. Because how do I know that? Because I'm keeping track. Otherwise, you don't know if you're making any gains. I just want to maintain, and now, of course, I want to get a little bit in better shape. I'm going to get better control of my midsection.
Yeah.
I feel like everything is falling. Then I don't want that anymore. So, what can we start writing down? Brady, you're writing songs. Do I want to practice with the band? Whatever it might be. Here it says with the goal. I want to practice with the band 2 times this week, every week. Okay, and then let's start keeping track. Because next time when we get together, I want to start getting into a habit that we're bringing these sheets with us, so we can celebrate the effort that you're actually putting into this thing. Makes sense to me. Okay, or not. I say it with my friend all the time. Or not. Just okay. And then you just kind of meander. Right? Another great one for Micah would be read these books. What are the books? Figure out what my first 3 should be at least. Maybe after those first 3, then you'll figure out like other ones that you want to do. I can give you a list of 10 immediately. I could probably do most of them just by memory. These books are so good. Maybe through encouragement of people leaving messages, or they call, texting at the bottom and making comments.
Reviews.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make a book. I'll do a video on like the my favorite books, and it's at least a place to start.
Yeah. You could even have the entire team put it together, their top 10 books.
Sure.
That way, if there's what, 5, 6 of us right now?
Yeah.
That's 60 books that people have to choose from right there.
Right. Yeah. So let's start reading, fellas. Start listening to these things. So with that, and any takeaways? This is your first time being on the podcast. What are your quick thoughts?
Yeah, I love it. I love how we all can feel trustworthy, and I don't feel like trustworthy is the right word, but it's you're comfortable with each other. And I know you guys have been on here. I know at least you 4 have been on here, and but it's just seeing how you guys do it, and then how you guys incorporated us into it. Definitely is it. I know it's something that we say in Connect all the time. Is I feel like this is a place I can come to, and it's it's a very comfortable environment. You can come in at any point in time. It's you're not feeling like you're missing too much. But yeah,
Good.
That's what I.
So you thinking about coming back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, Micah said it many times. I need this.
Yeah.
We got to keep getting together because it sucks doing it alone. Carl, it's your first time here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like it. It's nice to have a group of guys or people in general that have a general sense of that they want change. Because there's like you said, there's a lot of people around that don't have goals. They're more worried about planning their next vacation, not planning how they're going to afford that next vacation, or how they're going to be able to quit their job and just be on a natural, unlimited vacation as an entrepreneur, stuff like that. So it's nice to have that. And then just being on a podcast in general, at first you feel a little unconfident. You feel a little like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if my voice pitches? What if I stutter? But then just being around people that are just generally calm and ready to go and being able to crack jokes and stuff like that definitely is a good feeling.
Absolutely. I know Brady has mentioned that a couple of times. I think I'm getting better at this. You are, you know, and now we're getting deeper too, right? And that relates to a lot of people. Michael, thoughts?
Yeah, just basically community, the way that, you know, we can all come together through this and through our struggles and help us out. I think that's why it's so important and why it's such a valuable resource that people need to realize that this program is something that I think everybody could use. And the stuff it's done for me and the stuff that it's helped me do for the people around me is really life-changing. So I'm glad to be a part of it. It's a great program. It's great to have people that, you know, will support you through, you know, no matter how hard it gets, they'll always be there for you. So
I love it. Thank you. Jack?
It made me realize how I kind of started falling out of my habits and goals. So I was able to get all my stuff written out, and I have a lot more new goals that I'm going to accomplish. And I kind of forgot that we did this a little while back. So no, it's good to get back on this, the discipline regimen. But it's just good to get back on the track of getting my new goals done and getting set.
A lot of us know what to do. We just need to be reminded.
Yep.
Right? Brady, bring us home.
This program just is helping me get through life, and it's helping me know that my life means something, and I think can help others too in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I said it before, it's vital that you're here, bro. Right? You add to it. You make this thing, you make it better.
You have a message that somebody else needs to hear.
Yes, 100%. And with that, thank you for all for watching, and we will see you next time. We're going to give a little more clarity at some point with all this, and then hopefully in the next podcast we'll get like right to it. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm keeping track to help others, because this is still still a mess. Like, do we really have it? Not quite, but we're gonna, and now we can got things to accomplish. Deal?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, with that, that's it. Talk to you next time.